Hello everyone, welcome to Mind-Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet, Pat Chat Edition. I'm Violet.
And I'm Pat.
These videos are about articles that Patrick finds online. The reason we go over them is because we want to make sure that you have the best quality information. And so sometimes we see these articles, or I should say he sees these articles, and because of his reaction, he feels like, okay, this is something we should be talking about because it's really good for you to know about. Although most of the time it's because it's really something that he just wants to make sure that you're not going to be led in the wrong direction. I'm not sure what we have today, so I'm going to turn it over to Patrick.
This week we talk about snacks. So it's an article that truly piqued my interest about snacking. The title was the title is I lost 15 pounds, and these are the low carb snacks I reach for when I'm hungry. So
I lost 15 pounds.
Yeah, I lost 15 pounds.
And these are the low carb snacks. So does that mean the person's actually doing low carb?
Probably low carb.
Okay.
Like she's not. I say she because I think she's an author. There's no mention she's doing keto. There's some interesting ideas. Like the first one, I probably feel that if she had another lifestyle, she probably would have lost 30 pounds instead of 15. But that's why we want to comment on maybe what she's doing, what's right, what's wrong, and after we'll go through the list of snacks that she.
So I guess if I'm understanding this article well, because the person's not talking about their diet, they're just talking about the snacks they ate that allowed them to lose 15 pounds. So I guess the positive here is kind of pointing out that probably it's our snacking that keeps us heavy. That's a very interesting way that we could turn that information, right?
Yeah, I have a few little paragraphs to cover before we get to her list of snacks that she recommends that are low carb. Well, she starts saying that she always has snacks on her. Okay, the first thing.
She starts by saying, I always have snacks on me.
Yeah,
like she walks around with snacks.
But I'm like a soccer mom. I always have snacks on me. That's the first thing she said.
Okay, so right away. Like who walks around with snacks?
Okay,
I don't know. I know. So serious. Do you walk around with snacks?
Not really.
Okay, so like right away that sentence.
Yeah, that's the first thing. But
okay, I'm waiting.
I didn't think that would be my first sentence too. But the first one that caught my attention is but for sure, a lot of people do that. But and as much as I like sticking to 3 solid meals a day.
Okay.
So already we kind of have a hint she's not keto, but she does eat carb. I still sometimes get hunger pangs during those awkward times during a long day. So already we can see some emotional eating happening there in her article.
I don't know if it's emotional eating or if it's just the carbs are pushing her to eat. But I think the thing that I find interesting, she has long days, so that tells me also that her meals are not necessarily scheduled well.
Maybe.
So we do know that can cause extra hunger because eating at certain times is healthy for the body, but okay.
I've lost 15 pounds since January, and keeping my body fueled without depriving myself has been a major secret to my success.
Since January? 15 pounds since January?
Yeah, I assume it's
March, April, May. Hey, that's not bad. That's 15 pounds in 7 months. Hey, that's not bad.
3 meals a day, so she probably cut out a bunch of stuff.
Okay, I'm curious to know what she's been eating.
Okay, the other thing you want to clarify, and even me, I don't know. I've heard the term before. She goes on with, since I have PCOS. What's PCOS?
Oh, it's a condition, polycystic ovarian syndrome.
Okay.
And so basically, right away, then we know that she's not doing low carb. Because PCOS is caused by excessive carbs.
Okay,
but basically,
diet.
It's like polycystic ovarian. So your ovaries have cysts.
Okay.
And it's a lot of women who have this condition are unable to have children.
Okay.
Like it's that serious of a condition. Okay. So. Yeah, so right away.
Okay. So she goes, since I have PCOS and should stick to a pretty low carb diet to keep my blood sugar stable. So I have a feeling she's not keto really because we'll see what the snacks she does use in the article. But she keeps her carbs. I think she's doing more low carb. All these selection have 30 grams of net carbs or less or fewer. More or less. So already, I'm going to point out, 13 grams is more than half of what you should eat if you are on a keto lifestyle.
No, for sure she's not on a keto lifestyle. But I guess the interesting thing here is that it seems to me the thing that, so listening to the bits and pieces that you're reading out loud, the thing that stands out to me is that her doctor has already told her to keep her carbohydrate, or her sugar. She said sugar.
The blood sugar is stable.
Okay, so she's already aware that she should keep her sugar, carbs low to keep her blood sugar stable. So now I'm waiting to hear what her definition of low is.
Okay, well, she doesn't have a definition of low.
Well, we're gonna know by the snacks that she chooses, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. But before I want to go there, I wanted like a little open discussion about snacking. Like, is it something you do? I do. What you do? What do you consider snacking on the keto lifestyle?
Okay,
And
so
should we avoid it? Like, or
on any lifestyle, snacking is eating between your major meals. So anything you eat between meals is a snack.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter what kind of regimen you're doing. Snacking is not advised. Why? Every time you eat, unless you're having water, anything else that you put in your mouth is going to raise your insulin. So that's carbs, fats, or proteins. Doesn't matter which one. Fats will only raise it by like a 2 on 10 compared to like carbs being a 10 on 10. But it still raises it. So any snack that you're going to eat causes your insulin to go up, which we know, especially if you have PCOS, you wouldn't want to be doing. So that's, but now just take this another step.
Yeah.
If I'm eating between meals, the thing that we need to keep in mind, so every time I eat, my insulin goes up. And if I eat 3 meals a day, even though it's only 3 meals a day, the chance that my resting, my lowest point, like I say first thing in the morning, I've been fasting all night where my insulin is, my spike that's going to happen, will I get back down to that point before the next meal? Chances are no. But what happens is kind of additive. So like, let's say I go, just for number's sake, from 0 to 7, and then I'm starting my way back down, but then I eat again, and maybe I was at 4, so now I'm at 13, and then I'm on my way back down, and then I eat again, and then I'm at 9, and then, right? So like every time we eat, if there's not adequate time to get back down to 0, I mean, again, pretend numbers, then you're having extra insulin in your body longer than it needs to be. So no snacking.
So even though like some nutritionists, like we know that they recommend like a bunch of smaller meals, like 6-7 meals per day, that's not a good idea at all. You probably would rather have like bigger meals, but if you need to stick to 3 meals, then like make sure you have 3 appropriate meals and no snacking in between.
I think we're gonna make nutritionists like a curse word going forward. Like we're just not allowed to say that word anymore.
No, but it's not a good idea to.
But
eat every
you don't
2-3
want
hours.
to eat multiple times a day because first of all it's unnecessary, but second of all it's unhealthy. So the fewer meals you have, the healthier you are, and that's just going now. We're talking about, there's so many doctors and researchers right now who are showing that when they induce a little bit of lack of food, so when we take animals and we let them have longer periods between their meals, they live longer, some up to 20%. So like, there's like they were saying that we ideally would aim at 20% fasting. If you would fast 1 24-hour period a week, every single week of the year, I think you come to like something like 16-17% of your time fasting. So, and you're aiming at 20%. So if you did like once a week for every day of the year, every week of the year, and then you had like a few longer fasts in that period of time, maybe if you did 2 1-week periods, let's say, or maybe 3, you would have your 20%. And that adds longevity to your life.
Okay.
And this is what they're thinking, right? Just going from the studies they've done and what they've seen in animal studies and et cetera. And that's what they're
Well, let's
thinking.
do a little parenthesis on intermittent fasting. Then, we know the absolute best is 1 meal per day. You eat your meal and you fast for 23 and a half hours, let's say.
Hours, yeah.
But what would be like you still can get benefits if you have a little bit of a longer feeding period, let's say over maybe 4 hours. A 4:20 would that be good, or 8? Because I know people, like some people do 8, 16 and cram 2 meals in that, but like
the thing is that we have to keep in mind is that so the moment I stop eating is not when my fast starts, because the food is still traveling through, right? So like, there's that process that takes, I think, I try to remember how many, it's been a long time since I've read this. I think it's, how much?
4?
Maybe 4? I think it's 4 hours, something like that. Yeah, so there's that period of time that takes for the food to pass through you, and in that period of time, you're not actually fasting because your body is processing food. So this is where like doing the one meal a day comes in really handy because it gives you the 4 hours, and then you have a nice, like, what does it end up being, like 19 hours of fasting or something like this, or 18 hours of fasting, whatever it turns out to be. So now some fasting is better than none, right? Yeah. So if you're doing a 24, or if you're doing 6, 18, or like whatever you're doing, like some is better than none. So do what you're doing. But we can supplement with doing a 24-hour fast every once a week, or or every other week, or whatever you can manage. Like, again, the more you do, the better for you. And you can also supplement with doing, some people do like a week or 2 weeks but that were larger intervals. Maybe you have to play with it and see what you're comfortable doing, right? Like myself, I was doing very religiously once a week. Lately, it's been like once every other week, but I want to get back to my once a week, actually. So once a week. And then what I was also doing is like about every 6 months I do a week fast.
It's not you were doing, like you're still doing it.
Every 6 month thing is still is happening. It's more it's the once every week that I had stopped for a little while. I was doing like every other week, but now I'm going back to doing that.
Okay.
Just because
and
I think
what about that coffee in the morning, like breaking the fast or not breaking the fast? What's your thought on that?
So if you're having a coffee with any kind of energy in it, then it's, strictly speaking, not a fast. So it depends on why you're fasting. So if you're fasting for allowing your body to repair, then a little bit of this is, again, what's being said is that a little bit of energy in your coffee is at the end of the day. So it's not going to change anything. But if you're fasting, strictly speaking, though, you are breaking your fast.
Okay. But you still don't raise your insulin as much with like
because you still are raising your insulin, because you got that. If there's fat in the coffee, you've got that too, right? So it's going to happen. You will still have the benefits of some of the fasting. So some of the autophagy and some of the, I can't remember the other word, apoptosis and all those other processes that happen, because the length of time it takes your body to metabolize oil is not as long as food.
Okay. Well, since we should not snack, should we go through the rest of the article? Yeah, we'll go through it anyway. Okay, let's see. What does she use for snack? Because some of the snacks she recommends are better than others, so we can give you like.
So we're gonna go
advice
through
on
each
that.
of the snacks.
Yeah, she has like 4 or 5.
Okay.
The first one I think is good. Blue Diamond Bold Habanero Barbecue Almonds. So
That
these
sounds
are
like a
flavored spice. To me, they seem coated a little bit. So be careful with that. Like, why not just go for regular almonds, like salted almonds, instead of like the processed like stuff they're gonna put on it.
So just the name that you said gave me the impression. Yeah, because barbecue usually has some kind of sugar in it.
Let me see if I can.
So unfortunately, that would mean that there's probably extra sugars on there.
But you can nutrition information.
You can usually check the nutrition information, and so you can have regular salted almonds and then check any flavored stuff and see what you see. So what do you see there?
I see like 5 total carbs, 3 fibers, so 2 net carbs.
Okay, so maybe what they're putting on is just a spice, and it's not. I mean, 5. I mean, I'm trying to think for a regular type of almond, how much would it have been? I don't know, but.
Okay. The next one I do like beef jerky sticks. So beef jerkies.
Okay. The only thing I would say about those is you do have to still check that there's not extra carbs added. Some companies add carbs to make it taste good.
Oh yeah, total carbs 1 gram. So there's no
good.
It's not like.
And that was the actual brand she said?
The Country Archer Jalapeno beef jerky steak. So everything is available, like in her article. In her article is available on Amazon, so we can go check it.
Okay, so it was the same one. So
yeah, Country Archer Jalapeno beef jerky steak.
Okay, so again, another good one. And so far we've gotten 2 that were really good in the carb count.
Because the beef jerky that I usually like check at Costco and always keep putting it back on the shelf is like the regular beef and pork jerkies, and they have like 7-8 grams of sugar because of like the seasoning and stuff. The one I don't like. 1 protein bar, like in birthday cake flavor. So
1 protein bar.
Yeah, like the brand is 1. So like it's like every protein bars, like even though they seems like they put like emphasis on proteins, like just check the sugar content, because even like at Costco I'm always checking and put them back because they have 6, 7, 8 grams of.
I actually have a comment
carbs.
on this one.
Let's go see that one. Yeah.
Okay, so here's my comment. yes, I'm gonna guess that the sugar content is gonna be high on that. But the problem that I have is more the protein.
Okay.
Okay, how much is the sugar content?
So 22 total carbs, but 9 fibers. So that's like, my math is good, 12, 13,
Okay.
13 net carbs.
13
It's more
net
than a
carbs.
half your
But you know
day.
what my problem is with that? On top of that 13, we have processed
Processed food,
protein.
yeah.
What do we know about anything that you process? It's easier to absorb by
Yeah.
the body. So that we will end up over. How much protein does it say is in that?
Oh, let me check. Let me go check
So-
if I can go back to that. How much proteins? Okay, 7 fat and 20 grams
A protein?
of proteins.
So
yeah.
think about that. This one little teeny tiny bar is giving her 20 grams of protein. So the problem there is that, first of all, it's a lot of protein in a small package that's very processed. That's going to be absorbed very quickly. Protein gives us about a rise in insulins, but that's about a 5 to 7, depending on where it's coming from.
Okay.
So I'm going to also guess that
So
is
steak,
very likely a whey
steak would be
protein, but I
better
don't know.
than,
You didn't tell me which kind of protein it was, but it's probably a whey protein.
Oh, we can probably go
So,
check the
like,
ingredients.
it's not the best protein. So, again, you
Okay,
have
protein
to...
blend, whey protein isolate, milk protein isolate, like
Yeah.
blah blah blah, and a bunch of, honestly, if you can
And if you
read
look-
the ingredients, like there's a bunch of stuff I can even like read
Pronounce?
you guys
Okay.
pronounce. Don't even go there.
So this is the
Just the
problem that I
nuts.
have with the snacking on bars, is that the protein is processed. It's going to be very quickly absorbed. It's 20 grams that's happening at a period of time in the day that you probably every doctor that you talk to says that when something is so super processed, it's going to be absorbed quickly. It's going to be transformed into fat. So we just want to be careful with that, and also the fact that there were so many ingredients that Patrick can't pronounce, which just basically tells you that it's not healthy.
Another one that's, I feel like it's a repetition of the previous one. It's another Blue Diamond bold salt and vinegar almond. So another like flavored, artificially
Flavored nuts?
and then we see on the package artificially flavored. So already like I'm a little bit off that
Okay,
thing
so here's
too.
my question. It's salt and vinegar. Why did they need to artificially flavor it?
Flavor it.
Salt and vinegar.
Yeah, let's go see the ingredients. Just for fun, the fun of it. Okay, so okay. First the macros. Okay, no, five total minus 3 fibers. So and what do we have? Almonds, vegetable oil, canola, safflower, and or sunflower. Already we can do. We're not sure about that. Salt, sodium, deacetate, dextrose, lactose, and malic acid.
Dextrose is sugar.
Yeah.
Malic acid, okay. What was the other one?
So I'm kind of surprised with the macros, because like, these are the macros you would get on regular unflavored almonds, like 5 minus 3. So yeah, we have lactose and malic acid. Malic acid, yeah.
Sorry, dextrose,
Sodium,
lactose,
diacetate,
malic.
dextrose, lactose, and malic acid. So yeah, there's like some chemicals in there that why not just go with the raw almonds or the salted almonds.
It's a
Or
question
even
mark.
yeah.
That's a question mark. Like, you know what? It's not the worst thing that so like the birthday cake protein bar to me is worse than that. So if you have to pick your poisons, but I'm just wondering, why did they need to artificially flavor salt and vinegar? Those are two easiest. So a question mark.
Yeah. Cheaper probably to put the crappy stuff. Okay. Okay. We talked about that before, the pork rinds. So like she has in her it's like the pork rinds are good. Like and there's 0 carbs. Basically, it's pork fat like fried.
It can be. Is it
It
flavored?
can be. Oh yeah, or barbecue seasoning. Let's go. Let's go see. Because I do like the regular like unflavored pork rinds, especially like with you can use as to dip like in your guacamole for your avocado. That's like kind of good. Oh, I don't have no. So be careful. Watch the nutrition information, the ingredients. Check if there's something you cannot pronounce.
But you see, this is the thing: is that if you're gonna buy pork rinds, which is a healthier snack, but then if it's flavored, you just have to be careful to check the ingredients to see what they're using as flavorings. And again, like we were looking at the nuts, and it had dextrose. That's a sugar. Yeah. So like sometimes they will use these other words that are sugar to kind of trick you into thinking that there's no sugar added. I'm always surprised when I see in the ingredients multiple different sugars, but yet in the nutritional information they're still giving a really good number. It makes me pause. We know that food companies lie on their labels, so I'm just saying that out loud.
Next one is okay. Again, like well, it's a an almond butter pack. So
Almond butter
Justin's,
pack.
but Justin's cinnamon almond butter pack. Why the cinnamon in an almond butter, and what you do,
If it's
you just
just
like squeeze it in your
cinnamon,
mouth. Like
if
how
it's
does it
just
work?
cinnamon, it shouldn't add much. But I doubt it's just cinnamon. You want to see the
Yeah,
ingredients
yeah.
on that?
I'm going to
Okay,
go now.
so
Okay, so we have
nut
two.
butters are. If you're gonna buy nut butters, buying them in the little packs is the best way to do it because
Ooh.
the you're scaring me. Let me finish saying what I'm saying before you say what you're going to say. The reason I say if you're going to buy nut butters, buy them in the little packs is because it's already pre-portioned for you.
Oh, yeah.
The chance that you're going to, if you
Overdo
just
it.
have the one, at least you get a serving. I know for myself because my daughter loves peanut butter. And when she goes for the spoon, when I go back to make her a sandwich later, half the container is gone. So, I prefer when she actually makes a sandwich
Mm.
because it's really hard to put
Yeah.
20 tablespoons on a sandwich.
Although when I make her sandwich, I do put my and that's another story. Okay, so nutrition fact. Okay, so okay, a little pouch, 32 grams, 200
32 grams.
Yeah. Okay. So we have total carbs 8 grams.
8, okay.
Yeah, but we're talking about an almond butter.
But we're
Okay,
talking, so it's how much you said? 30,
so we
32
have
grams.
32
Okay.
grams. We have 8 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fibers, total sugars 4 grams, including 3 grams of added sugars. At least they mention it on the package.
Including 3 grams of
Grams of
added.
added
Can I
sugar.
have the
Yeah.
ingredients?
So ingredients: dry roasted almonds, organic. That's why I like kind of like organic powdered sugar. So made of organic cane sugar, organic tapioca starch. So why meant to make it taste good?
Palm oil?
The organic cinnamon. Here's the cinnamon. So it's just the sugar they added. That to me they could have skipped it and probably just add. Although almond butter is a little bit bitter, not really. I used to eat almond butter before. So yeah, the 3 grams of added sugars. It's organic cane sugar and organic tapioca starch.
So, and we do again in the
So-
nut butter, any kind of nut butter situation, you're in that situation where process. So we take in what would have been 30, 40, 50 nuts and put them into 32 grams.
Yeah.
Right? How long would it have taken you to do this? Right? And eat
Yeah.
that versus how long did it take you to do that? So I would really encourage you to eat the nuts. In that
Yeah.
case, it would be take you longer and be more satisfying. But if you're gonna do that, at least they're in packages.
Mm-hmm.
You know you've just had X amount and that's it. That's all. Like what was it? Four net carb. You
Yeah.
know what you have. It's done. And if that satisfies you, great.
It's the snacks I had. Like I may add like cheese. Like having if you really feel the need to snack, you can have a little piece of
You
cheese.
really shouldn't feel the need to
You
snack
should
though.
really,
But
really
but you
need
know
it,
what? This
but, yeah.
person is not doing keto.
Yeah.
So considering that she's not doing keto, and yes, it is a she because she has PCOS. So considering that she's not doing keto, she's keeping her carbs in a low carb story. And that's good. I think probably she would do even better if she could help herself to do no snacks. But that would mean really paying attention to the carbs she's eating during her meal. This is the thing that I'm going to throw out there. The way that she's doing those snacks, my guess is that she might still be eating carbs in her meals. Just from looking at what she chose as snacks.
I have a colleague, another example of a relatively low carb snack. I have a colleague that he doesn't really have breakfast, but I can see him eat like a little cup of something like around 10 in the morning. Cup of something like just berries. So usually he has blackberries, raspberries, and two like what I feel is like 2 squares of dark chocolate, like 80%, or so even like he does like the higher percentage. So that's like I do consider it a snack because it's a really like small serving. So it's definitely not a meal. Per se. So I'm not sure if he had breakfast before, and he's in between breakfast and lunch snack.
But I think the thing that I would say there, so whether if I skip breakfast, but that's the first thing I have, or if I would have had a bowl of cereal, I don't see the difference because I'm starting my day with sugar. No matter what you look at there, you're starting. Like I really would encourage people, as much as you can, start your day with protein and fat, rather than starting your day with sugar. At least that first rise in your insulin is not going to be the highest possible rise that it could be, right? So anything you can do to keep your insulin at a lower level throughout the course of your day, right?
Hard-boiled eggs
Any kind
would
of
be
eggs,
a good
any kind of eggs
option.
would be. And I think I also feel like if people understood that eating carbs pushes eating carbs, then you would understand why you snack. Because as Patrick and I have both said on different occasions, we no longer feel the need to eat between meals because we don't feel it. So even when we're talking about, like when Patrick's talking about eating yogurt, or when I'm talking about eating nuts, it's at the end of our meal. It's like we're not finished eating yet. Like it's not that we have finished eating and then we turn around and hours later, or you know what I mean? Like, so it's also that.
My yogurt, I'm gonna have it like maybe 2 hours after the end of my meal, so I
Okay.
could probably consider it a snack.
Okay.
But like,
usually for me, it's closer to the meal than
Yeah.
that. So it's usually right on the heels of the meal. But again, the thing is that that's what you should be aiming at. So that's what you should be aiming at.
Guilty
It's like
as charged.
having it at the end of the meal, because when you have it at the end of the meal, you're already spiking your insulin, you're already eating,
Yeah.
right? So in terms of longevity, thinking about where your insulin's at. I recently saw a video by Dr. Inbar Kursen, and she was doing a really lovely video on Adapt Your Life, the channel Adapt Your Life. Actually, you guys should all watch it. It's a 2-part video series. It's really good. Maybe I'll try to link that if I remember to. But the reason I'm bringing it up is she said something that was so smart and yet so obvious, and it's just like, duh. She said, the medical profession has been based on putting a Band-Aid on your problems. And she said all the medications that they give you for heart disease and all the medications, even you were talking about gout the other day and how you could take these and all of these things. And she said what we really should be doing is starting with what's the initial problem. We know it's carbohydrates. Rather than push people to take these pills, take the carbohydrates out of the diet.
People love carbohydrates. That's the problem. People want to have their carbohydrates.
But the question is, do you want to have heart disease? Do you want to have diabetes? You know what? And I've said this a million times. It's not about doing what's convenient. It's about doing what's better for you. Rather than eating the wrong thing and then putting a Band-Aid on it, learn to eat the right thing. So, I applaud this lady because at least she's looking at her food.
Yeah.
She's at least looking and saying, how does eating like this affect me? I feel like if she keeps doing this, she'll probably even go further, right? Because the more you learn about yourself, the more you see yourself succeed, the more you want to succeed. That's another cool thing is, as humans, when we start winning, we want to win more and more and more. And I know, I mean, I lived it myself, right? Healed my hip, healed my knees, healed my elbow, healed my back, right? And I'm still going. Why? Because it feels good. It feels good to win and feel better at the same time, right? And the final plus, this is one I don't hardly ever talk about. I lost weight. It's hardly think about it. I hardly talk about that one. The weight loss wasn't the thing. It was, how good do I feel? So, like I said, I applaud her because I feel like she probably will end up eventually doing even better for herself. But I'm just reminding everyone, don't put a Band-Aid. Don't put a Band-Aid. We know what's causing this, right? A treat should be a treat once in a while, right? When you're fueling your body, you should be eating good quality foods. And, some of those snacks were not so bad. If you've made it this far into the video, then it tells me that you really appreciate the information that Patrick and I put out. So I would like to let you know that I created a Patreon so that those of you who would like to contribute to the making of some of these videos have the opportunity. You just need to go to Patreon/Violet Rivera, and you'll find all the information there. If you'd like to help us, that'd be great. I want to thank you for watching Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet, Pat Chat Edition. I know you're about to tell me that people need to subscribe. So all my wellness warriors out there, I love that you're subscribed. Click the bell if you haven't. For everyone else who isn't already subscribed, subscribe. Ring the bell. So you'll know when my videos are coming out, when you know when our videos are coming out. I want to thank you for watching Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet, Pat Chat Edition. We really appreciate you guys coming by. Talk to you next time. Oh, you're not going to say bye?
Bye.